We live.
We are live. No, it was funny because I was looking, I was like, I have never seen the events log
Yeah, me neither.
before. So we're seeing a whole bunch of new things, but it's Thursday.
Yes, it is, my brother.
So that means it's brother empowerment. Woo!
One of the best days, actually, aside from Saturday. Thursday is the second best day of the week. Just saying. I love my Saturdays, so that's just me, though.
Well, it's funny because Thursdays have always been my favorite day.
Yeah, you did tell me that.
Ever since I was a little kid, I don't know if it had something to do with the Cosby Show in a different world, but it was definitely my always been my favorite day.
Okay.
And I can't even tell you why. What's going on, Tara? Oh, my cousin Destiny is on. Hey, Karen.
Hey, Karen.
Hey, Carissa with the new dude, looking fabulous, looking amazing. You almost brought an old school, like the 80s vibe with it. Remind me of like the Jets. They used to be one of my favorite groups back then. So you look great. You look great. You look great. So if this is your first time, guys, the whole purpose of Brother Empowerment is for us to uplift brothers. This is not a bashing show, but this is an opportunity for brothers to uplift one another while ending misogyny, negative male competition, domestic violence, rape culture, and gender inequality. One of the things that we buried last week and we will no longer use is toxic masculinity. Several reasons why it has become a buzzword and has lost its effectiveness. So we want to make sure that we're not triggering individuals, but we're constantly moving towards a progressive state.
That's correct.
So we definitely have squashed all of that. And we're going to continue to move forward by empowering and helping one another and learning from one another. So before we get started, brother, how was your week?
Brother Empowerment always lets me know that one, weekend's right around the corner. Then two, there's some positivity coming my way. So the week has been, kind of stable, but also very stressful. But, brother, every time that we do Brother Empowerment and I get to come on here, like it seems like all those stuff kind of washes away. And so, the week has been trying, man, but it's good right now.
I guess we share that alike because my week has been pretty stressful as well. For those who don't know, we do have a Columbia, South Carolina, which we call home. We have a home there that we've been working with, trying to get things situated there. The home here has been having issues. There have been unique situations that have been happening on the job, unique situations that is happening with the children. Had a couple of emotional conversations, doing graphic work and rewriting, revamping, and doing all of those things. So it's been a lot of things happening all at once.
Yeah.
And so I actually look forward to just having this. I actually spoke with Tara, who's on, and my little sister is on. Hey, Carrie or Kiara.
Hey.
And Nichelle is on. Hey, Nichelle.
Hey, Nichelle.
So this actually is my opportunity probably to recharge, refocus, and refresh.
Okay.
So like we always do, there are a lot of questions out there, or topics rather, of things that we need to discuss or would like to discuss. So the very first one came from Uncle Marcus, who's a regular on the show. He's everybody's neighborhood uncle, so he's your uncle too. You just don't know it yet.
What's up?
So, relationship labels. Are you in a relationship or not? So the whole thing is, do relationship labels even matter?
I mean, so
what are relationship labels?
So to me, my spiel or my take on it is, there is no relationship label. It's either you're in one or you're not. So really, and if in a relationship, we're talking about a traditional two-person relationship, both people have to be on the same accord. If, you're going to be in a relationship, there needs to be a conversation of, first off, are we going to engage in being in a committed relationship? And two, that whole conversation of exclusivity. That conversation, which all those things can be talked about in the same conversation, they need to take place. So again, to me, there is no relationship label. You either are in one or you aren't.
Right. And I guess the bigger question is, what does that mean if you are in a relationship or not? Does that necessarily mean exclusivity, or what does that mean? Or because so many people have different levels, even in a relationship. Like some people say, even though I'm basically talking to someone exclusively, I'm technically single until I'm married. It's so many different things that we hear.
Okay, so we're talking about that. Okay, so, and I think that's one of the topics, the levels. I think Giovanna had had posted that as a topic. It was
I didn't even get to it yet. I'm sorry, Javonna.
Yeah, it's okay, but we're gonna tackle it right here. So if we look, go towards the
This is another one.
Yeah,
the other one said
define the stages of talking.
Oh, we'll go right on in.
Yeah,
Hey,
so right. So so when it comes to talking, dating, all that. So here, this is purely my opinion and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go straight into it and keep it brief. So the whole like quote unquote talking stage. So to me, talking is when you're getting to know a certain person or multiple people and y'all are just communicating, text message, you guys may be talking on the phone, but you're getting to know each other and to see if you have, key things in common, or you have just, things that you want to, something that will make you want to be around this person for an extended amount of time. You're just literally just talking and conversing. That to me is talking. And there's no expectation, or at least there shouldn't be, in my opinion, there shouldn't be an expectation of commitment or exclusivity in the talking stage.
But, okay, if there is no expectation, just asking, guys, it's been 12 years since I've dated. I've been married this will be 11 years this year. We've been together for 12 years this year. September will be 12 years of us being together. 11 years of being married in August. So, thank you. Because things are a little different, or I don't know if they're the same. So in the talking phase, is this also when y'all become intimate?
I mean, it can be for some people. It really just depends on the speed of the two people. It can be. So I would say, normally, I would say for myself, no, but I have heard it happening before. That being said, let's put that out there. Physical intimacy, or even just intimacy in an intimate setting, as far as communication on a different level, intimate setting, does not indicate a relationship. The only thing that indicates a relationship is the conversation and a mutual agreement to be in said relationship.
Okay. And so Uncle Marcus said that he was told that labels are for old folks, basically.
I mean, I can't say yes or no to that, because I know people my age and younger that put labels on things. Now that was the talking stage. As far as the dating stage, dating to me simply means that you are out here in the world and you're going on dates.
Right.
You're going on dates, whether it be with one person or multiple people. Now, dating someone exclusively means you are going on dates with one person exclusively. That's who you're putting your time and a lot of your time and a lot of your energy into. But dating just in general, to me, means you're just out here, you're going on dates with, it could be, again, one person, multiple people, or just a select group that you just have that you just like go on dates with. So again, dating does not even dictate a relationship or exclusivity.
Okay. And Shonda said, hey, Shonda.
Hey, Shonda.
And Karen said she actually agrees with you.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I'm pleased to hear is it's not too different from when we were dating.
Right.
So no, things haven't changed. And it's not just for old folks. It's to stop confusion. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, guys. You have to communicate.
That's correct.
At the end of the day, I think the only label that truly matters is having effective communication.
That's right.
Because you may have two mutual partners who are in an exclusive bond, but don't believe in labels. You do have some people who don't like the whole idea of labels.
Yep.
So it depends on who are the people that are connecting, who are the people that are in there. And also, don't assume just because you have a label that expectations are met.
Right.
You have to really talk about what your expectations are, and the person should let you know if they're going to fulfill those expectations or not. But we have to communicate because that's the only way. And so when people talk about, well, you're married, you may not know. No, even in marriages, we have to redefine and discuss what those expectations are on a regular.
That's correct. I mean, the conversation, it has to take place. I mean, there's so many situations that have gone just to the left because of ineffective communication. Hey, Dion.
Hey, Dion. I was going to wait because you was in the middle.
My bad. So just ineffective communications out here really just messing up what could be beautiful, well, relationship situations, whatever you want to call them, just messing them up. So, and to be in a monogamous or even whatever kind of relationship, but to be in a committed relationship, whether it be monogamous, whether it be with multiple people. Some people out there who are polyamorous. Can I include them too? So again, like the brother Jay said, communication is the key. That binds everything. If everyone's on the same page and there's been effective communication between all parties involved, then the expectations, have less of a chance to be unmet, or, they have a higher chance, in my opinion, to be exceeded, because everyone's on the same page, everyone has communicated. So that way, if there are any disagreements, any dissent, it's all on the table.
You know what? It's funny because she's on here. Karen is actually the one who schooled me. Karen Joyner.
Mm-hmm.
When I went to undergrad, her sister, and her brother-in-law took me in. Her brother-in-law was my first mentor, but she's the one who actually schooled me a lot on sexual exploration, sexual freedom,
Mm-hmm.
Intimacy, polygamy, monogamy, platonic relationships, all of that,
Mm-hmm.
because her view on so many things was so beautiful.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was so different. I remember sitting there having to think wow, because it challenged me the way that I think. And I can honestly say, as I've grown, I am so in line with the way that she thought, because
Mm-hmm.
she's such a libertarian in the sense of allowing people to explore their freedoms,
Right.
and define their freedoms. And here's the thing. Once you define freedom, it's no longer freedom.
Right.
And so a lot of times labels is a form of restriction,
Right.
but it's something you have to talk about, because if you get into any type of relationship with a person who's free or fluid, and if you're not prepared for that because you're a little bit more conservative, it may just not be a good match. Don't force yourself to be compatible with someone who doesn't meet what you're actually looking for, especially someone who's very in tune and very free
Mm-hmm.
and fluid in their ideas, their thoughts, and all of the things that they would like to express.
Yeah.
Mr. Branch, hey, how you doing, sir?
James?
He said, right and wrong does not change. People are the ones undergoing change. Agreed.
Yeah.
And then Tara said that was supposed to read Hootie Hoo.
Okay.
I thought it was my hoodie because I had on a hoodie. And then Dion said, but they do say expectations kill a marriage.
I can't speak to that because
I can't speak to it because for one, I don't understand the statement. So maybe you can give me a little bit more words. Kathy is on. Hey, Kathy.
Hey, Kathy.
Melissa is on. Hey, Mel.
Hey, Melissa.
Malika said, Malika said, oh, we setting up expectations for other people, huh? Let me know how that works out.
No, I don't mean.
Go ahead.
No, brother, go ahead.
No, we weren't saying set up expectations. You can have expectations all day long,
right,
which is your standard.
Right.
The person is not obligated to meet them.
Correct.
And you, by that person not meeting those standards, meaning the principles or the pillars that you have in place, you don't have to stay in that relationship with them.
Right.
It's a choice at that point. But you need to talk about what you want out of a relationship.
Right.
And they need every right, just like you can talk about what you want out of a relationship, they have every right to say, no, I'm going to meet that, or I can't, or I disagree with that, so that you guys can develop your own relationship and your own bond. So
that's correct.
You want to add anything to it?
No, just not expectations as far as, well, I expect you to be home at 9 o'clock or call me. Expectations, I'm talking just, we're going to be in a committed relationship. I expect that we're going to be faithful. Just things like that. Or just even any other expectations. The key is just communicate just what you want or what you're looking for. That's really what I was saying. You don't have to. I know expectations is kind of a double-edged sword.
It's a trigger word for us.
Right. So we can leave that out. Just communicate what you want, what you're looking for. We'll just say that.
Right.
Dion
said they say
they lead. She's talking about expectation. They say lead disappointments, but communication is definitely key.
Okay.
Expectations, depending on the parties involved, expectations can lead to a bunch of things. Again, like the brother said, you can have them as a standard, and someone may meet them or they may not. They're not obligated to. But the key thing is just getting your thoughts and what you're looking for, what you need, out in the open so people know. There should be no unknowns if we're talking about, well, anything really, but we're talking about commitment and relationships. There shouldn't be any unknowns.
Right. Well, and also you can't be afraid. You just can't assume in a relationship.
Right.
And I can tell you, expectations sometimes just are created. Like, me and my wife never had a conversation about, well, if you out past 9 o'clock, give me a call.
Yeah.
It's just something that just formed. Like, we just call each other like, yeah, I'm gonna be a little late. this is where this is what I got going on. But we never sat down and said, if you out. But now, you know, fast forward 11 years later, we're like, where you at? It's 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
But we both know that that's kind of the standard that we've created.
Right.
And so when anybody deviate from that, it's like, okay, there's a change. What's going on?
Yeah.
So we definitely want to make sure we get that. Dion said, great point about compatibility.
Correct.
Awesome. Yep. My brother is, my older brother is on, and my younger brother.
What's up, y'all?
Rodney White and Mike Brown. Hey, y'all. Giovanna. Oh, hey, she said amen. So you did hear it. Good. Okay, Dion said, okay, got you. Definitely a difference between expectation and standards.
Correct. Definitely.
And then she applied it to Malika.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Definitely.
Malika, to my awesome clarification, needs and wants are important to know and communicate. We agree.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it's so funny. We all use similar terminology now.
Yeah.
So we all know what's going on. The community is getting either larger or smaller. I don't know which one it is.
I say larger.
You say larger, you go with larger?
Yeah, I say larger.
Okay, Giovanna, we just talked about it. I think you heard some of it. And then, it's going right into it. Regina talked about relationship responsibilities. What is your take on that?
Well, responsibilities is a big word, and it's also can be interpreted in different ways. I definitely think that relationship responsibilities per se really it depends on what all the parties involved are looking for in their relationship. If one party, is looking for something in a relationship, another party looking for something else, if they agree to be in a committed relationship with another and to, uphold the standards or whatever you want to call it, I think that responsibilities are to do what, basically to say, to do what you say you're going to do. Excuse me. So I kind of stuttered there. But sorry. But to do what you say you're going to do. So if both parties are going to agree, or all parties involved are going to agree to be in a relationship, a committed relationship, then be in that relationship. And basically just do what you say you're going to do. To me, that's the only responsibility I think people have in a relationship.
Yeah, and I will only add to that. Responsibilities are not one-sided.
Right.
The responsibilities is the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And both people have to be invested in that relationship. And the best thing that I can always say is keep other people at your relationship.
Right.
The best way to have a responsible, healthy, thriving relationship is don't include other people in your relationship. There are certain things that my wife and I don't talk to about anybody.
Right.
And we will talk. And the only thing that we will talk about is stuff that we welcome feedback in.
Right.
But we don't solicit or allow conversations in areas that are off limits.
That's right.
One of those areas is raising kids.
Mm-hmm.
We don't ask you how to raise our kids. We're not coming to you with any advice, so we don't expect you to give us any advice.
Right.
And so when we shut that down, it's like, you can't take offense because we don't want your advice in raising our kids.
Right.
So it's those type of things that are just off limits for us, and we know how to say mind your business.
Right.
And we're okay with telling people, just mind your business.
Yep.
That's all. Just mind your business.
Nobody asked you.
Let's see. Oh, hey, Debbie, she's on. We didn't see her.
Hey, Debbie.
And then Malika said, awesome clarification. We got her. Tara talking to my brother. And then Malika said, I don't want a sister walking these streets talking about love is a parable told me to set my expectations.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. You can't ever say that.
Right. Never, ever, ever. And then Dion said, get it out.
I did, Dion. Thank you, though.
He did.
I got it.
I did. He did get it out.
He's supposed to be on my side.
I am on your side, but it was funny.
Okay.
And then Malika said integrity, which we do agree.
That's right.
And then Giovanna said boundaries.
Yep.
We actually agree with you 1,000%.
Yeah.
I don't know what Malika is laughing at because
probably Dion and probably you.
She's so disrespectful. Stop laughing at people, Malika. That's not nice. Okay.
Especially me.
Right. Okay. So you're gonna have to explain this one to me.
So ATC, aka Triple OG, I don't think she's on yet. That's what I call it, Triple OG. She says, why cis heterosexual black men struggle with accepting gay black men. So this is quite a loaded topic, not just for men, but just for the black community in general. But we're talking about men, so I'm going to keep it on topic. So
No, they say black men.
Well, I'm saying it's, I said it's for the black community in general.
Okay,
is an issue, but we're talking about black men, so I'm going to keep it on topic. So the issue there is very, very, very nuanced, and it's also expansive. So I will say that there are just quite way too many men who feel unnerved by gay men because the stereotype that gay men are, effeminate, overly effeminate, and they're just really extra, and they're really just there are some black men, way too many in my opinion, I think that, being around black gay men invites, harassment. When really, in my opinion, I've also heard this from other brothers as well, one of them being Tori Newton, who's on. What's up, Tori? Tori made a good point once that, and other people have made this point as well. It's varied that, certain men feel unnerved around, or black men feel unnerved around, black men who are gay because the fear is that that gay men will treat straight men the same way that they treat women, which is harass them and, basically.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's
actually real good.
Right. So, and to stay on topic of the question, it's a very problematic mindset, is because, again, there's a mindset that, black gay men are effeminate, that they will harass you, that they're always looking to just, convert, straight men to being gay. And it's really just, it's rooted in misogyny. It's also rooted in just it's rooted in ignorance, just a lack of just really common decency, in my opinion. Just because, first of all, I'm not so arrogant and so insecure to think that, every gay man wants me. I have gay people that I've grown up around and that I know, and that the boundaries are respected, and we're perfectly cool. They're good people. And then there's also some black men you wouldn't even know are gay. Not every black man who's gay, broadcasts his sexuality like that. Some of them you wouldn't even know. And they could be people you talk to at the job, or people or even your own friends. And you'll never know.
Right.
So that was a lot, but yeah.
I mean, it was a lot. And I will add to it, because that was like a phenomenal revelation, Tori. Thank you for that. Naisha, thank you. Tara talking about everybody don't want to, just like every woman don't want to, so relax, man. We agree.
Yeah.
And then I will say this. For one, there's several things that make that complicated.
Yeah.
One is sexuality or orientation or a lifestyle. Because they seem to go back and forth. I don't believe sexuality is a lifestyle. Is a lifestyle. What you do in the sheets is your thing.
That's correct. And
so I also don't think just because a man acts what is perceivably feminine automatically means that he's gay. I believe you gay when you say you gay, and you not gay when you say you're not gay.
Right.
Because the only people that know that you are the ones that's sleeping with you.
Right.
So that's not my business. But I also think that there is a struggle in the black community that we don't talk about. If we talk about the history of America, we weren't considered even human.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we finally was considered human, we was mistreated and treated as subhuman.
Right.
And so there has always been a quest and a desire for us to be just to meet what it is to be a man.
Right.
And so sometimes some men look at it as we don't need another thing to set us back.
Right.
And I think that there is a confusion because we have people like, listen, you know how like people say, just be compliant. Don't. I think that some of it is, can we just go under the radar to get what we need and leave that alone? So I think that it's a lot of complicated parts in there where it has very little to do with attraction and sexuality as much as it is with survival.
Right. Yeah.
And so I think that a lot of people don't talk about that. And I think that conversation is big. And I don't think that you can just say it's because a person is gay or not.
Yep.
Because if you're going to say that, then you have to define what it is to be a black man and then what it is to be a gay black man.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, women can't even speak to that.
Right.
And so they can advocate all day long, but the struggle of being a man is one thing, and then the struggle of being a gay black man is another thing.
Right.
And so that conversation is so deep, and there's so many ways that it can go. But I think what will clean it up is when we're talking about sexuality, are we talking about the orientation or the lifestyle?
Right. Yep.
Because some people can reject the lifestyle and not reject the orientation if you want to be 100% honest about the situation. So I think that it's so complicated that that's going to be a dialogue within itself, meaning nothing else.
Yeah.
Just really break that down because there are ideals and ideologies associated with that.
Yeah. No, definitely. All that's correct. I mean, you have.
Woo, that was a lot.
Yeah, you have elements of hypermasculinity in there that are to blame. You have all kinds of things there that add to that conflict. You know. So yeah. Everything you say was correct, brother.
Okay, Karen Jonas said, so not true. And I guess she was trying to say it's so sad people think that way.
It is.
But I'm not sure which part that she was saying that. And Giovanna said, it's the truth. Seeing that today Black men were complaining how they're approached wrong by a gay man, but will walk up to a sister talking derogatory and expect her money. Ooh.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's horrible.
I'm so sorry that even happens.
Yeah, but not wrong.
Yeah, but thank you for sharing that. And then Tara, hey Felicia, Felicia's on
What's
all
up,
the
Felicia?
way from Vegas. And then Tara said, it's also a fact that, hold on, it's also the fact gay sex acts are used in control systems such as the bucking. Yeah, you actually are true about that. And to be honest, with so much going on, and we got the when they see us out and all of that other stuff, I think there's a lot of stuff that's compacted in that. Yeah, that's associated with it, and I don't even think we can open that up. Yeah, within this hour, all of that is like a whole conversation by itself with people. Yeah, who really want to talk about it. Yeah, and who are prepared to talk about it. Oh, yeah. Because that can be triggering for some people. Okay, Devontae said, the importance of effort and appealing to your partner's love language.
Ooh, man. So, all right. So, I'll go ahead and take this one first.
Go ahead.
So, as far as effort goes, I mean, relationships do not simply work because two people like each other and because they have personalities that are compatible. It works because the parties involved work at it. So the relationships don't just work on their own. And so, no matter how much, no matter how much commitment or how much, romantic interest you can have as much for the world for 10,000 people. Without effort, you just have two people who kind of like each other, in my opinion. So as far as love language goes, I didn't learn about love language until my previous relationship a couple years ago. So love languages, while they are, at the time I thought it sounded funny, but they are in my opinion, they're a very powerful thing, and they give you a lot of in-depth perspective on who you are in a relationship with. So I think that tapping into at least knowing your partner's at least top 2 love languages. Oh my goodness, Malika, yes, I'm excited about being here with my brother. Can I be excited about being on Brother Empowerment? This is the most fun I get to have all week, except for Saturday when I can sleep in.
No, you did get happy with that one.
Oh.
It's like, I'll take this one.
So, back what I was saying before Malika interrupted.
She's so rude.
Yeah, it's rude, man. So, no, but love languages are extremely powerful, and I think knowing your partner's top 2 can go a long way. And it's really interesting that knowing something as simple as the 2 things in which your partner communicates their affection or communicates their commitment to the other person or to someone they care about is super dope. But it's also just crazy to me because it's something so small, or in my opinion, So to answer the topic, it's really, really important. I think it goes a long way to both parties or all parties involved. You know what I mean?
Well, and I'm going to say I actually don't believe in love languages. And the reason why I don't believe in love languages, I think that is another barrier that's set up. I think this is why love is a parable is so important. We have a whole curriculum to help people identify love. When you begin to really identify love and become a love advocate, those things you will know. Yeah. And the love languages are nothing more than preferences in the way that you should communicate, respond, and act, the standards, the clarifications, and all of that.
Yeah, makes sense.
and we have to be careful because we are so conditioned on labels that we also are so conditioned in linear way of doing things and putting things in a box. Meaning, oh, you found out that your love language is words of affirmation. Now you're like, oh, you think all the time words are going to fulfill this? No, they're going to have to be actions and all of these other things. And so we have this condition to become extremists. And I think that this is a huge problem. No, I think that we need to get a clear understanding of love before we start to add things onto it.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
So what Jay would say is become a certified love advocate so that we really can get a clearer understanding of love. So when you have these conversations, you're not pulling from all these varied sources that sometimes conflict or either cause more issues.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Tara said faith without works is dead, even in relationships.
That's correct. That's correct.
That was it there.
Yeah.
And Uncle Marcus said, some of us dudes have a problem deciphering things, so we're going to need you to communicate with us, not think we should be able to figure it out.
I mean, I think that's just across the board. You know, communication, there should be no, well, he should know, he or she should know. I think that, you know, communication should be put above all. I mean, that's a kind of an expectation. Well, he's been with me long enough, he should know. Now, I think there are certain things when you're with someone long enough, you can pick up, you're in tune with them, I like to say, you're in sync with them. So you can pick up on their mannerisms sometimes and the way they think about things. Even still, the need for communication never goes away. The level of communication still needs to be at a high level pretty much at all times, because there's some things that get lost in translation.
I agree, because a lot of people fail to realize the first form of intimacy and the best form of intimacy is communication. Yeah. I can't say this enough. You cannot be intimate with someone without having great communication. And even if you have relations with someone, that doesn't mean that it can go to the level of intimacy it could go if you were great communicators, or you were even attempting to be communicators. So you definitely want to communicate, and you never want to leave that. Here's why. I don't want my wife to feel like she has me all figured out, because I'm constantly evolving and growing. So if she's talking to me the same way that she talked to me 10 years ago, there's a huge problem.
I agree. Yeah.
And we need to figure that part out. Like, why is it that you're still talking to me the same way for 10 years? That means that there's no progression. Yeah. That means that there is no development. That means that there is no help. That means it's so many different ways that we can keep talking about it if you're talking to the person the same exact way.
Yeah.
Even in, let's take relationships out of it. We're talking about even friendships. You've changed in the last 2 years. Tara changed. I changed. We all changed in the last 2 years. If we're still having the same conversations 2 years later, something is wrong, and we shouldn't be around each other, because we are stifling some serious growth if that's the case.
Yeah. What did Oprah said? Surround yourself with people who fill your cup till it runneth over.
I just need to surround myself with Oprah.
A bunch of Oprahs?
No, just one.
Oh, yeah, she's a billionaire. Yeah,
right.
You see one.
Just one Oprah.
Yeah.
Miss Joey said, how can we positively engage our children while they're out for the summer? Who is having activities? Who is willing to mentor?
Yep, it's all you, bro.
Listen, I'm trying to figure that out. I mean, if I'm perfectly honest, I know one great spot that you guys can go, Office and Art Studio. They have great activities for the kids. Mm-hmm. And then I know another spot who has a summer camp, Dion, over there Perfectly
Flawed Community Center in Garner.
Right. So take your kids to school and then take them over to the activities to do stuff with Office and Art. Oh, and then Malika does yoga. Your weekends are set. Everything that you need. Look, all your answers, all your questions are answered in one post. And here's the thing, guys. I will deviate. Learn to connect with your community.
Yeah.
Stop going outside of your community, and the needs are in your community.
Yep.
And I mean, when I'm talking about needs, I'm talking about quality needs.
Yeah.
Your needs can be met in your community if you reach out.
Yep.
We have gotten to this point where we feel like we have to go outside to come back in. No, connect and build a true sense of community. Everybody's talking about unity. Everybody's talking about doing stuff. Well, do stuff with the people that you have.
Right.
You know, like with me, I'm a love advocate, so I can connect with anybody because nobody is really doing what I'm doing. And if you have a program, you don't have to do everything. Do what you're good at. Do what you're called to do.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? What you talking about? Wait a minute, Malika. I already talked about you with yoga. I ain't fooling with you. And then Karen said, nope, let me go back. My cousin said, sorry you late. You fine. You good. And then Malika said, don't assume I like what I liked 5 years ago.
That's big.
We actually agree.
Yeah, that's big.
Sherry, what's going on?
Hey, Sherry.
And then Karen said, I definitely don't like the same things I did 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, some other things.
Let's be talking about fried fish.
Well, I still dislike okra.
Yeah.
I ain't never like it. That shouldn't be a fruit.
I still don't like cheese.
It's disgusting and it's horrible. You don't like cheese?
No.
I didn't start liking cheese till I was in my 30s. Oh, that's amazing.
I've been disliking cheese since I was 2.
Oh, Lori's here. Hey, Lori.
What's up, Lori?
I don't know what Malika's laughing at because Malika's always laughing at us.
Disrespectful.
Just rude. Okay, and then, Karen said the library has events all summer. Churches host vacation Bible school.
That's true.
Yep, and she's talking about down in South Carolina, they do have a lot of those things. And then, Lori, we know that you're late. You don't have to tell us that you're late. And then, let me see. Uncle Marcus said, Malika, you are correct on that. Communication both ways is essential. We agree.
Yeah.
And then Tara said, use your network. Stop playing with the purpose of your village. Include them.
Oh,
I agree.
Tara. Ooh, yeah, that was.
I agree
Yeah.
wholeheartedly. Sherry said, don't call us out. We got to call you out. Hey, Sherry.
Love you.
Love you, mean it. And she's talking about cheese is delicious.
For who?
Well, started liking cheese in my 30s. So I'm only 9 years game in the cheese industry. And so far, I had to find one cheese that I really like more than anything, and that's smoked Gouda. That's some good cheese to me. Yes. Sherry, but don't be a cheese basher. Okay? We love here. We love.
I don't love cheese.
Okay. Here's one. Support for first-time dads.
Again, go ahead, bro.
I will talk about this. One of the things that people don't talk about is the misandrous type of habits that come from people when it relates to men and children. And when I say that is there are several people who think that men are ignorant when it comes to traditional maternal roles that make the job twice as hard.
Yeah.
Like, I know how to do hair, I know how to dress my kids, I know how to do all of those things,
Yep.
but you have some people who quick judge and assume. Like, I remember when Leilani was a baby, it was so many older ladies who would just try to come and take my baby, be like, you don't know what to do with that baby. And I'm like, no, you better move for a punch you, old lady. But it's just people that feel like whenever like you're in public and you're a man and you have a child, they feel like they can scoop them up, or they will say things like, I will change them for you. Like, man, who do you think changing this kid at home? Not a mama.
Yeah, that's
and so it's not a lot of support, not only for first-time dads. And here's the thing that I tell Leah. As a first-time dad and as first-time parents, everything you go through is the first time.
right. Yeah.
So, like, my oldest will be 10 soon. Well, it's going to be my first time dealing with a 10-year-old. There's going to be my first time dealing with an 11-year-old. It's going to be my first time. So we're always going through those first-time stages. And to be honest, sometimes taking advice from other people only make it worse.
Right.
So my thing is the support that you need is the support in trusting your family unit. Because sometimes getting outside support is damaging. I'll be the first one to say that. So support your family unit. Your children can communicate with you and tell you what they need, even before they become verbal.
Yeah.
So it's so many different things. If you just will take time and look at them as humans and don't look at them as a baby or look at them as a child, they have ways of communicating and ways of responding. And so the support that we need is knowing that there are other people in the fight with us, not other people giving us advice.
Yep.
Make sense?
I agree with all that.
Naisha said, smoked Gouda is amazing.
Who are you?
I agree with you. I'm going to give him some smoked Gouda. He's going to like it. And Amy said, I like fried Dominican. First of all, what is fried Dominican cheese?
Amy is she's from Jamaica. So
but what is fried? What can I get this fried Dominican cheese? Because I tried. Now, is it made out of goat or something? Like goat cheese or?
Amy, we just let Amy be. We just let her be.
Hey, DM me the cheese. Because I want to try the Dominican cheese. Now, if it's nasty, I will come back on Brother Empowerment and say, Amy, don't trust anything come out of Amy's mouth.
Word.
And then Karen said, have a good village around you.
That's correct.
We agree.
Yeah. For sure.
We agree. Mama G just got on. Hey, Mama G.
Hey, Mama G.
So let's go to the next one. How to invest in your passions.
Well, as you know, as you actually told me once, Brother Jay, I believe it was actually you and Tara. Invest in your passion, just do it. If you have a passion, just you pursue it and you give it life. As you told me, don't shut yourself off from your passion because it's stressful.
I will say this too. You still owe Tara a sketch.
See, he's a traitor.
And also, this is June, so you're supposed to be launching your business.
Yes.
So investing in your passion. Here's the thing, though. You got to connect yourself with passionate people. Like Karen talked about your village. Mm-hmm. If you're not around people who have an entrepreneurial spirit or passionate people, creative people who are constantly pushing, like, here's the thing. They don't even have to push you. If you see them winning and you see them going after it, you naturally will feel inspired by their motivation.
That's correct.
So you need to make sure that you are connected to living people. And the reason why I say you're connected to living people, if you're not living a life of purpose, you're dying. And you will become bitter because the fear to step out is different than not stepping out at all. You can have that fear all day long, but still push yourself because that fear can become motivation, whereas that stifling can become disease. And so you don't want to die with a passion. And here's the other thing that I always tell people, and this is what you have to think about. You failing to operate in your purpose, in your passion, may be causing somebody to die prematurely because they need you to do it.
It's heavy.
And so a lot of people don't realize that, like, you might be that person that has a cure for. You might be that person that has a remedy for. You might be that person who's invented something that will stop something. You might be that person that can change your community. You might be that person. And so you failing to do what your purpose to do impacts more than just you.
It's super heavy.
So if you want to live a life just performing random homicides, then by all means, don't invest in who you are. But if you truly care about this world and care about other people like most of us claim to do, you will want to invest in who you are. Like there are several of you who may need help with your computers right now and can't type out your dreams, can't develop what you need to do because you didn't know that this guy is a computer person who can help fix your computer. So there are so many different things that you can do and you can go after, but you want to just make sure that investing in it is making the decision to do. Okay?
What he said.
And I don't know what Lori said yes to. She's talking about she all is. We ain't fooling with you. We've been going over names with her. And then Malika said, invest in time if money is not an option. We agree.
That's really real because there's quite a few people who have time, lots of energy, and lots of desire, but not a lot of money or financial resources. I'll put it that way.
I agree. Natanya said, Natanya is in.
Hey, Natanya.
And Natanya has a beautiful.
Oh, congratulations to the addition to the family.
Beautiful baby girl, Ari Hope.
Yeah, that's a dope name too.
Oh, she's amazingly beautiful.
Yeah.
She's just like perfect. We got a chance to see her on Saturday, and I can't wait to spoil her and just let her do whatever she wants to do, but she's gorgeous.
And give her back.
Yeah, and give her back. Well, I don't know. I can throw her in a room with the rest of the kids. It don't matter. Once you got multiple children, it don't matter after that. Naisha, who also was talking about brie cheese is good. You pushing them too much. We was on Gouda and maybe this Dominican stuff, but Naisha said step out on faith and always be around people who are grinding and going after their goals. We agree.
That's right. Yeah.
And then Natalia said, fear is the enemy to all things concerning your destiny.
Yeah.
And then Sherry said, off subject. Off subject. Question, pray, praise the Lord. Why did I read it in that voice at the same time?
That T, man.
She's talking about, I have a question. If a man is trying to get to know a female, should they pay for things 50-50, or should the man pay for the dinner? If the woman says, hey, let's go out, should she be responsible for paying everything?
All right. So,
see, we talked about this earlier. See, that was in our expectation and labels, but we will digress for you.
Yeah. So, well, the brother Jay's married. He's not out here dating. I'm out here dating. I'm a single man. So here's what I'll tell you. I will say,
living in the sin of living in that den of sin. Yeah. I'm sorry.
So, what I will say is this: me myself, I was taught by my uncles, one of them, including my uncle Marcus, who's here, and my dad, that the majority of the time that you go on as a man, the majority of the time that I'm going on a date with a woman, I anticipate footing the bill. That being said, there's different schools of thought on that. Some people have the school of thought that whoever asked the other person to go out should have the mind to foot the bill. So, and I can't disagree with that. What I will say though is this: I don't necessarily have an expectation, but here's what an ideal world I'm prepared. Because most time I'm a planner, so I'm going to be planning said dates and asking, hey, you want to go here or do this? So I'm prepared to to pay. Now, what is nice is if the lady or a lady, whatever how you want to say it, if she either offers to tip or offers to pay after the first couple of dates, that goes a long way. So what I'll say is, and I will say this, as me myself as a man, I've never gone Dutch. One party is paying for the room for the room. One party is paying for the bill. One party is going to be paying for the bill. Usually it's me. On occasions I have been treated to a lady, or by a lady rather, to dinner or whatever ever. What, man?
You don't pay for a room and been treated to a lady?
So
wrong show.
Yeah. So I will say that the expectation is, it depends on who. There should be an expectation, but there should be a conversation. But I know for me myself, I don't do 50-50. I don't go Dutch. I'm either going to pay or she's going to pay. Most of the time I pay, just because that's what was instilled in me, and that's just how I roll.
Well, when I date my wife, I always have to pay. So yeah, I will say that there are certain areas that I am a traditionalist in. Otto said if I invite, I pay. I may pay on her invite as well.
Exactly.
And then Natalia says she loves us. We love you too.
We love you too.
And she gonna spoil the baby, and we will too. And I don't know what Joy is clapping at.
Probably me. Thanks, Joy.
Well, she probably slapping you. And then Uncle Marcus said he pays regardless.
That's true. My uncle does always pay.
And Sherry said the room. Sherry, we don't know what room he's talking about.
Freudian slip.
We're gonna just put in a word of prayer, and the Lord. Let me stop. And then Karen said, I always have enough for my meal, and I will always ask if he's paying for dinner before we go out.
I can't argue with that either. I tell my sister and any woman that asks me about dating anything to always have your own money, so yeah.
Well, we see where you get the thought-like behaviors from, because here go Uncle Marcus. Word, nephew, room, food, drinks, all on me. I'm sorry for y'all who got your kids watching. I don't know how this went this way. And then Lori says she agreed with Karen. Look, and everybody coming. Malika say for the room.
Hey.
And look, they going in now.
Yo, it was a mistake.
No, look, Tara saying, Lord, I'm joking. Cordell slipping. Look, if they talking about you. Look, they are going in. They are going in. Okay, let me see. Otto said, I'll definitely be paying for a room if we going.
Oh, shoot.
You see? You look. I love y'all, man.
Dang, man. Y'all ain't have to go that hard on me.
Look, they know about, yes, he is. Karen even get that money. We can talk about Cordell, you fresh. Ain't he? Just a whole thought sitting over here. Just a whole one. Okay, let me see. Oh, Mama G said, I'm old school. If a man is interested, he pays his way. As women, we are breaking down the wrong barriers. Let a man be a man. Mama G has spoken.
No, I can see, there are definitely some really traditional men out there who don't, like I said, my Uncle Marcus. My Uncle Marcus, when he's out with the lady, she doesn't touch or open her purse when it comes to time to pay for anything. That's just him. And so he instilled that in me as well. And so the majority of the time, that's how I roll too. That being said, I think it is awesome and phenomenal that, and I don't think it's out of the question that someone who wants to invest energy and time into you and says that they are interested in you, that they come out of their pockets a little bit and show you like, hey, I'm interested in you. I want to treat you to something. I don't think that's out of the question. And I don't think now, again, it's depending on your mindset and your thought process. But I think that that's very cool. And I don't think that's just too outlandish. I think it's cool.
Notice he said your thought process.
Hey, chill out, Jerry. Chill out, man.
Okay.
I can't have no more slip-ups with y'all.
You talking about that thought process. I'm like, dog, we still on this? But Tara said, if I ask my friend out, I usually pay unless we discuss it. Hold on, wait a minute. We call broke if we broke.
Hey, keep it a buck.
I agree.
Yeah.
And let me see. Oh, goodness. And then you got a cheerleader, Uncle Marcus, from Deborah. She said, yay, Uncle Marcus. And then women friends. We knew what you were talking about because I would have told Dion why he on the plane. And then Natane said, literally.
Mm-hmm.
And then let me see what Naisha said. Ooh, these comments are coming.
You might just use a down arrow, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to start doing. She said, a gentleman will pay even when a lady asks. Here y'all go with your stereotypes.
Yeah.
Will pay even when a lady asks him out, date. However, you always have your own just in case.
Well, I
respect that.
Yeah, I can respect that, and I will say that the majority of the time that I'm going on an outing with a lady, I'm prepared to pay. That being said, like I said, it is nice and flattering when a lady comes out of her pockets for you, because in my opinion, that says that she really likes you.
That's Joy say you paying for the upper room.
Y'all, I gotta have a blooper reel something with y'all. Man. I can't even do this with y'all today.
Look, Sherry talking about is Uncle Mark. Who you about to hook him up with, Sherry? Because you a whole married.
Uncle Marcus.
She a whole married to Rock. Matter of fact, we're gonna be at Sherry Church on Sunday.
Okay.
For their men's day. Uncle Marcus, your inbox about to be lit up because Sherry about to get one of church ladies on you.
Uncle Marcus is single for y'all that he is single. So just if y'all want to know, he is.
I'm telling.
2 single dope brothers. So just
Let me see. Mama G said, my husband does not allow me to pay for anything in his presence. That's what I call respect.
I understand that. Hey, I can respect that. That's dope.
Mama G is not playing. Mama G is not playing with y'all. She gonna school y'all something. Look, Sherry talking about she knows some. I told you. It's one of the church like y'all about Uncle Marcus, you gonna be busy, man. See you in Fayetteville on Sunday. Let me see. Otto said, so money leads to honey? It may be a root.
I have no experience with. I have no idea, man.
He cannot confirm or deny those statements.
I don't know.
He's talking about, but not always. What Deborah talking about?
Cheerleader.
She cheerleading for Marcus. But listen, man. Y'all, the hour is almost up. Look, it's 9:25 already.
Yeah.
We're gonna kill the rest of these comments real quick. Karen said only if that's what he wants. Sharon talking about church women need love too.
I guess they do.
Uncle Marcus, you getting sent a friend request now?
Oh, that's crazy, man.
Okay.
I think that was all of them. Yeah.
Yep, that was all of them. So I'm gonna do this a little different this time. We always do the positive brother shout out. But my thing is, instead of just shouting brothers out, what are some tools that you can give a brother? What are some jewels you can drop a brother to take him to the next level? Oh, now Roderick, come on. That's Sherry's other half right there. She been cutting up Roderick the whole time.
That's probably why he on. He like, what you laughing at?
Yeah, what you laughing so hard for? Why you can't breathe?
Yeah. You know what? As far as gems that I can drop on a brother, I will only say, well, I don't say only, but the first thing I'll say, as I say, whenever I can to brothers, is to be open. There are so many things that I think that us brothers miss because we are, closed. We restrict ourselves and we're closed-minded. Be open, and you don't have to be open. To be open is not to be accepting necessarily. So you can be open to everything, but you don't have to be accepting of everything. But be open, because I think that, in my opinion, when you're open to everything, your perspective changes and you learn a lot more. So, because when you're restricted, or especially with your vision and your mindset, you only look in certain perspective or certain ways. So that would be the first thing. The other thing I would say is, find some, or not find, but if you need support or you find that you don't have anyone to talk to, come talk to us. Our inbox is always open. There's other brothers that we associate with that just want to support and love on each other. So definitely don't feel like you're out there alone, because you're not. I mean, there you have support systems out there. You may not know us very well. I know that, as my brother Jay's pointed out before, brothers, our relationships are relationship driven or connection driven in a lot of ways, in a lot of times. So, take a leap of faith, or just, and know that we're here to support you and we got you.
That was like powerful, bro.
Yeah.
And I actually agree with what he was saying. And here's my words and my jewels. Let go before you take on. Learn to let go of a lot of stuff before you take on anything new. A lot of times we take on so much and we become crowded. Our space, our thoughts, our heart, our emotions become so crowded by the things that we have not released.
Yeah.
And every burden is not yours. Every fight that you saw, every negative outcome that you have witnessed, experienced, don't assume that it always belongs to you.
Yeah.
Learn to give things back that don't belong to you.
Yeah.
And when you take on to some things, make sure that you take on those things that are going to help you elevate and that will help you propel. Okay. Tara wanted to leave a nugget. She said, empower those that empower you. Pay it forward. The strong need to be poured back into as well. Yes. I couldn't agree more, because it's the simple things that will empower me, because sometimes you can get your head so low to the ground that you forget to look up, and it might need that one person to say, hey, look up. There's more to this. Look up. So I definitely agree with that. And then Sherry told me she gonna shut it down. Whatever. Roger came here and shut it down. He said he ain't playing all that kicking on your phone.
Yeah, he sure did. But to point to Tara's comment, I will say that Roger said, iron sharpens iron. Bro, that's one of my favorite quotes in life. I love it. Love it.
And in scripture.
Yeah, that too.
You're just becoming a little churchy, man.
But to point to Tara's point, or to point to Tara's comment, one of the, I'm not sure, I'm a fan of Jay-Z, as far as his music and stuff. And so one of the coldest lines he ever said to me was, we are each other's crutches. And so not necessarily a crutch where, you have to, lean on me for just to need me, but support, literally in that sense, support. And I also say that one last thing that I will say is that, brothers, when it comes to your mental health, that is sacred. So you need to safeguard it. You need to nurture it. And you need to just make sure that, you're your best self, so that you can be your best self out here in the world. So that being said, get help, saying that, and I don't mean that to demean anybody, just get help, professional help. I will go out on the record and say, I've been going to therapy for almost a year. it has helped me tremendously. It has helped me change into a wholly different person and heal from past traumas and hurts. Get help from a professional. There are people out there who look like you or in your own community even who are qualified to give you the help that you need, or say give you the tools so that you can help yourself and heal yourself.
You've been preaching tonight all night. He been preaching tonight. He done took us to the streets,
yo,
to
chill.
the hotel,
yo, chill.
to the altar.
Chill.
Okay, and Karen said, know the kind of person you really are and not who people keep trying to turn you into.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for all that you're doing. And y'all ain't gonna
acknowledge me.
Me, but I got a knowledge for the brothers. Allow yourselves to fully feel.
Malika, you always dropping some knowledge.
Malika,
so that's right.
And you're always welcome on the show. You always know that.
Yep.
Guys, but thank you for making Brother Empowerment a great one. Fellas, if you need us, if you need anybody to talk to, sisters, if you know a guy that needs somebody to talk to, let them know about us. Don't hesitate to reach out. And sisters, if you need help as well, it's not just only Cordell is a certified love advocate. Lori and Tara, who are also on here, are certified love advocates. Mm-hmm. And then we even have some who are taking the course to become certified love advocates. So if you need any of us, reach out so that we can help. We love you guys and have a wonderful, wonderful night.
See y'all next week.